I hate crime. There are brighter places in Sydney than Angel Place when it's dark. Head down, I was ankling up that dog leg of a lane from Pitt to George Street when a hand reached out, jerked me into a doorway. What the... What the...
Want to talk.
What's the big idea?
Penny's arms, Fancy.
Don't struggle. Dear?
Is a stick-up?
No, it's not a stick-up.
Well, what is it?
Just this.
Why, you son of a...
That was an open-hander.
Well, you do twist, sir.
I'll twist your neck.
Give it to him, Jojo.
Here's a closed fist. We don't like nosy dicks, do we, Fancy?
Especially American. They're so vulgar.
I'm gonna bust you.
No, you won't. You're gonna what?
Okay, it's your party.
Yeah, that's better.
I think jiu-jitsu's a wonderful thing. Don't you?
My arm's on rubber.
Fancy. Am I hurting you? Dear.
Now listen, Kent. Keep out of it.
What? Pug.
Shut up.
Isn't he delicious?
Keep out of what?
Digging around what happened to a Sheila's jalopy. Get it?
No.
You ain't dumb.
Not ain't, Jojo. Aren't.
Yeah. Don't show your ignorance.
Why, you... Yeah. That's just a bit on account.
Account of what?
Me and Fancy don't like you.
I'm weeping.
Nothing to what you'll be doing if you don't stop scratching about that car.
What are you dribbling?
You heard, dear. Tell Mrs. Standish that you can't find out a thing.
No. Not a thing.
Silence is golden.
So sleep.
Nighty-night, dear.
A cop on the beat found me about half an hour later. He started to run me in as a drunk. I showed him my credentials, said forget it. I beat 2 floozies with the Navy to a taxi at Wynyard, told the driver I wanted Edgecliff Road. He gave it to me.
Yes?
I hope it is Mrs. Patricia Standish.
It is?
It would have been silly for me to say I wanted to see her. There was practically nothing to stop me from seeing her. Black hair, olive skin, not a phony curve anywhere.
Who are you?
Your lawyer employed me on your behalf, Mrs. Standish.
Oh, Larry Kent.
Uh-huh. It's not often I meet clients after I accept an assignment.
Come in.
Thank you.
It was good of you to agree to find out whoever stole my car, Mr. Kent.
Well, I want to check a few details.
Of course. Sit down, won't you? Here?
Sure.
Now.
It was a latest model Studebaker. You imported it.
Mm-hmm. From Singapore.
How?
I'm a widow, Mr. Kent.
Oh. Oh.
And I've quite a bit of money of my own. Need I say more?
Some guys get all the breaks.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have time to take delivery.
It was stolen from outside the customs.
Mm-hmm. Give it to me again.
They rang to say it had been cleared. When I got there to pick it up, someone had pretended that I'd sent him to get it for me.
Him?
No, they couldn't supply details. Only that it was a man.
Then?
I reported it to the police. You know the rest.
When they caught up, it had been stripped down to the chassis.
That was today. They found it in the garbage dump at Paddington.
Uh-huh. And you hadn't insured it?
I intended to. It cost me more than $2,000.
Must have been some bucket of bolts.
But I thought my lawyer told you all about this. I want you to find out who took it, that's all.
Why not let the cops do that?
Don't you want to go on with it, Larry?
Well, it seems a waste of money when they can do it.
No, I told them I wouldn't lay a charge.
Why?
Oh, must you be so tiresome?
Oh, am I tiring you?
Well...
Well...
Mm-hmm.
Before I tire, what happens if and when I find the guy who hoisted your car?
Just tell me where I can get at him.
For what?
Personal reasons. Larry?
One more thing. Patricia. Do you know a couple of stand-over boys by the name of Jojo and Fancy?
What odd names.
Odd guys.
No. Should I?
They did me over tonight. Yeah, feel there.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah. That was how they told me to drop your assignment.
They did?
Yeah.
Jojo and Fancy.
They said I'm to tell you I can't find out a thing about your car. Then Fancy said nighty-night and pal Jojo put me to sleep.
Find out where they live. They must be the ones. Find out and I'll pay you double fees. Give you more.
Yeah?
Yes.
My client was right. I was tiresome. That's why I left. That's why I dragged to an all-night cab. I had to share the back seat with a couple of teetering teenagers. They were still at it when I was dropped at the end of my street. I walked the remainder to my apartment, turned towards the entrance.
Larry.
Who's that?
Mert. Remember?
Oh, why, sure, honey. You're a bit off your beat, aren't you?
I had to see you, Larry.
What about?
Remember how you helped Jackie, my boyfriend, a couple of months back?
Oh, forget it, Mert.
I'm paying back.
I said forget it.
Hey, Larry. You want Jojo and Fancy?
Huh?
Them Melbourne boys. Got too hot for 'em. They blew this way.
So?
They did over my Jackie bad. And tonight I heard they did you.
You and Jackie switched to the car-stripping racket, Mert?
Not on your sweet life.
Know why they jumped me? Who paid them?
all I know, they jumped. And I reckon you want to get 'em. That's so I can pay for Jackie.
Yeah?
I know where they're living.
Where? I didn't see the knife coming. I only caught its whisper as it was flung hard, straight into her back. Whoever threw that knife to stop Myrtle from telling me about JoJo and Fancy did a good job. She was dead before she hit ground. Then a car up the street slammed into life and burned rubber. I went to my apartment, boosted my phone bill. 20 minutes more, I'd fobbed off the cops, helped scoop Myrtle to the meat wagon, and called it a night. Next day, I contacted all the fizz gigs I knew, but they clammed up before I'd finished saying JoJo. Came night, I dug up a dame I knew in a cafe at King's Cross.
Wonderful to see you again, Larry.
Yeah, it's been a long time, Debbie.
I missed you.
That goes double.
Coffee all right?
Uh-huh, swell. Busy?
It can wait.
Debbie, heard of JoJo and Fancy?
No. What'd they look like?
Melbourne boys. JoJo's big, wide, dark.
And Fancy's a...
Yeah.
So that's their name.
You recognize them?
They've been in here a few times lately. I wondered who they were.
Alone?
Always?
Know where they live?
Must be around the cross. They come in for eats at night. I wish they wouldn't.
Why?
I like men. Which reminds me...
When I'm through, baby.
Well, I've waited this long.
Do me a favor?
Since when have you had to ask, Larry?
Let's know next time those Yarra mudlarks come in, huh?
They're a crime.
And you know how I hate crime, sweetheart.
Larry?
Yeah?
Don't look round, but you're in luck.
Fancy pants.
And boyfriend.
Where are they?
Going into 2 cubicles. No, the next one behind you.
And the tip-off is she's bringing in another jalopy from Singapore next week.
Fancy, so soon.
You know what? I still think the stuff's in the Studebaker.
We looked everywhere. No, JoJo, it was a dry run.
But they told us in Melbourne
It was a dry run to see if anyone had cut themselves in.
Yeah, could be. Now, we stripped that car down to the ground. Nothing. Now the Sheila's wise.
Don't forget Kent.
Pity you didn't let him have it instead of chucking a knife into that broad.
I'll get him, dear. Don't fret.
Who's fretting?
You can start now! Get the cops, Debbie!
Oh, get a passing! I want to rip him! Rip him! Come on!
There ought to be a law against tubular chairs in cafes. They don't bust when they bang your head, just knock you cold. JoJo proved it on me.
How do you feel now, Larry?
Debbie, if you were a lady, I'd tell you.
You did your best.
Yeah, sure. To gum up the works.
It was no good calling the police, darling. Those 2 shot out of here like lightning.
Okay.
Oh, don't move.
Don't want to, but I gotta see an uncooperative client.
Oh. Well, if you must, you must. I bet it's a woman.
Don't worry, kid. I just want to talk to her. I'm gonna say to her, Mrs. Standish, I don't like clients who hold back cards.
You look angry, Larry.
That's a polite word for it.
But what have I done to make you like this?
I told you I don't like clients who hold back...
Oh, yes. Who hold back cards.
Yeah. Especially cards marked Singapore.
Oh. What about Singapore?
That's where you got your car.
But you knew that.
But not that it's the place where you're getting another.
Should I have told you?
Yeah.
Why? Now, why should it interest you? It's perfectly clear. I buy one car, it's stolen, wrecked. I need a car, so I buy another.
Why from Singapore?
Mr. Larry Kent, in Singapore, latest American models are very cheap. They're on sale there long before such models ever get to this country, if ever.
What's wrong with a locally built job from one of the Sydney houses, huh?
You, an American, say that.
Why do you think I stayed here after the war if I hadn't liked everything about the place?
I must buy you a flag.
You thought you'd buy me for a sucker.
Oh. Look, let's forget all about the second car. It hasn't any bearing on anything.
Listen, baby. Was that first car a dry run?
Dry run?
Yeah, dry run.
You must teach me American jargon.
I'll translate. You hired me to locate the guys who stripped your car, then lugged Jojo and his lizard fancy showed me why I shouldn't.
Then I showed you why you should.
Then a friend comes to tell me where I can find Jojo. Fancy knifes her.
Do you mourn?
She was on the level.
And I'm not?
And you're not.
Oh. All this fuss just because I didn't tell you I wanted another car to replace the first.
Why were Jojo and Fancy so interested in your first? And now the one that you're shipping out.
Why are car thieves interested in cars but to sell them all the parts?
Jojo and his knife-toting buddy weren't.
I tell you, they tore it to pieces, dismantled it to sell the parts.
I tell you they tore it to pieces to look for something.
Look for something? Oh, really, Larry?
Really, Patricia.
How great. Well, whatever it was then, they must have found it.
They didn't. They think it was a dry run.
Ah, we're back to that fascinating phrase.
Back to it and the fact that they'd still not 100% sold that it was.
Then, whatever this mysterious something is, must still be there.
That's how I figure.
I see.
What?
Do you know, Larry, you're almost convincing me that there is something hidden in the car.
Think I'll take a look-see at the wreck.
When?
Maybe tomorrow.
Oh, there's no need.
Maybe there is.
Larry, I'm paying you just to tell me where I can get the men who stole it. There's no need for you to see the wreck.
Oh, I won't get my hands dirty.
Well, if you do, don't add soap to your expenses.
Okay, no soap.
Then you won't trouble about seeing the car tomorrow?
I didn't. I went that night. But first I taxied to my office to pick up a flashlight and my .38 Roscoe. I told the cab driver to wait. I was in a hurry. That's why I was careless when I got inside my office.
Hold it, Kent.
Huh?
Surprise, surprise.
All right, shut the door, Fancy.
Hey, what the...
Back in that chair, brother.
Don't be stubborn, dear.
Who's stubborn?
That's a sweet boy.
Okay, Fancy. Tie these arms together at the back. Fast.
Where do we go from here?
Now listen, Kent. We warned you last night to lay off.
I'll buy it.
I'm selling a quiet corner in the local cemetery.
Now your feet, dear. Oh, and if you kick, Jojo's got nice soft dum-dum bullets in his gun. Well, they do make a mess.
We'd hate to spoil your carpet.
I said I'd buy it, Jojo.
Here it is. We're soft-hearted boys, Fancy and me. That's why we're warning you the second time. But it's the last.
That's right. After this, Jojo's promised I can use my knife, split you neat.
You got a split personality.
Oh, Jojo, isn't he cute?
So cute, you don't know this thing's big, Kent. Bigger than you.
So I'm cute, huh?
If we don't get you, the big boys will come up from Melbourne and move in.
I figured you're just a couple of small-time punks acting under orders.
You worked that out. Fancy.
All by myself. Just fancy.
You're all by yourself in this, Kent. It's big time. We've been sent here to get what we want. And we're getting it. See?
What about the organization behind the Standish dame?
Small time. She thought she was smart getting you to cut us off. But she ain't smart enough.
Jojo, I've told you before, not ain't.
Ah, shut up, will you?
Ain't education wonderful?
Now, we're pulling out now, brother. By the time anyone finds you, we'll have blown with what we want.
So be a good boy till then. There's a dear. Otherwise, I'll just love to rip you.
Davy's mouth. Now remember this, Ken. Don't trade on our soft art. It's your last trip. Come on, hurry up, Fancy. Out of the dump fast, or that Dave will beat us.
They blew. I swore. Fancy had taped me, but good. I started to beef like a frustrated Caruso choking on spaghetti. Then I heard the elevator coming up. It was the cab driver. He'd used his nut. I told him to wait. I owed him dough, so he'd waited, got restless, came looking. I phoned Debbie, then drove out to where the stolen car chassis had been dumped. It was an old quarry, like a dame I once knew, deep, wide, and dark. I went to switch on my torch, then stopped.
No. No, don't.
So my client had the same idea, so had someone else. I edged towards her voice.
No. No. No, please.
Now, where is it, sister?
I've told you over and over. I don't know. I don't know.
Will this help?
My soft-hearted pal Jojo at work again. And I could just pick out...
Fancy, you have a go.
You keep away. Keep away from him.
Ah, not our mouth, you dope. We wanted to talk.
Not even a little slit, it's so small.
No, don't.
Then this Jojo, she'll still be able to hear us.
Now, where's the snow? Come on, we want that cocaine. Fancy's getting itchy.
Beautiful ear, so soft.
No, don't. It's gone. I tell you, it's gone.
Yeah? Then what are you nosing around for if it ain't here?
Not ain't Jojo, huh?
Please.
15,000 quid's worth of snow was in the car. We can't find it. You can. Now, find it.
Jojo, you're naughty. You promised me.
No.
Okay, Fancy, she's yours. Slice it off.
Not so fast, Fancy!
Oh!
I lashed out, he went down, Jojo came at me.
Curtains are starting.
Yeah, for you!
Not the knife.
Drop it, Fancy, drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Ow!
What's that for, Larry?
That's for being a smart cookie, Debbie.
I had an awful time persuading the police to get there.
Thanks.
Where was the cocaine hidden?
Inside the differential.
The differential? What's that?
Well, it's the part that makes the wheels go round. The back wheels.
I don't get it.
Well, it's kind of housed in the middle of the back axle and forms a T. You get it now?
Uh-uh.
Uh-huh. It's a tough job teaching some things to dames, but Debbie's a fast pupil. Good night.